Hey everyone, I'm going to be teaching you today. If you're watching this, you're going to learn something new, um, potentially anyway. I channeled in this technique a long time ago, maybe about 10 years ago, and I've taught some people it, but I'm going to start teaching it on YouTube now. Um, it's called the slow moving meditation, and basically, what you do is you move very, very slowly. So, the purpose of the meditation is to refine your nervous system. So, basically, when I first did it myself, after the meditation, I could feel the static that had built up from my nervous system because I was a boxer when I was younger and I dealt with high intensity activities, so like sparring, fighting, and all that sort of stuff. And so my nerves were like frayed in my arms. And so when I was doing the meditation, after I had done it, literally there was so much static electricity on my arms, my hairs were standing on end on my arms. So yeah, it was a quite amazing experience after doing the first time. Um, and after a while of doing it, I noticed that the static um, went down until it wasn't um, anything left at all, and my movement become extremely fine. So basically, how this works is you focus. I'm not going to do there's sequences. I'm not going to do the sequence though. But basically, you focus on both hands at the same time, and then you move like pulses. So you'll be able to feel the pulses when you do them. So I'll just do an exaggerated pulse like that, right? They're pulses of movement, right? And you've got to feel deep into your movement so that when you're moving slowly, you feel these pulses happen. So I'm moving right now. You can sort of see my hands just slightly pulsing, pulsing, like this. And so what's happening when that's happening, you're bringing your awareness firstly into both hands. And what I noticed when I got really in tune with my nervous system is that I really can only focus on one hand at a time. So what happens is that my nervous system switches like this. So I'm focusing on both hands, but one at a time. And what I feel that does is it helps with the left brain um, crossover a lot. So there's a few different benefits to this. Why you're doing this? So like, if you imagine your nervous system is like, depending on who you are, but it may not be in very good shape, right? It's just like our physical bodies. If we don't use it properly, we're not in good shape, and the body becomes just, you know, doesn't look great. And then when we work out, our body gets used, then it starts to look great. So our nervous system can be in a similar way the same. But if you are working out, you are using your nervous system, so it will probably be relatively good. But if this just takes it to a whole nother level, it's like a nervous system workout. And so what happens is your brain is constantly trying to see where you are. So when you move, just imagine I'm just moving like this. My brain's sending or is sending and receiving the signal of from the nervous system of where my arm is in space. So it knows where it is, right? And you can imagine it's going like this, right? Up and down, 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 up and down to measure where it is in space, right? So when you're doing the slow moving meditation, you've got your awareness on your hands, and that's a really important part of this, because you're bringing your attention to that moving part. So your mind is extra focused on where it's located. And then you're moving this pulse by pulse and you can feel it, right? So your mind is registering that feeling of movement. And it's like, in my mind, in my mind's eye, I can see it. The electricity in your arms starts to move at rapid speed. And that movement is using your nervous system. So your nervous system's having to now like readjust to that capacity. So it grows back stronger and smoother, right? And one of the things that I channeled in when I was channeling in this whole concept was about the speed of light, and how in physics they believe that when something moves really fast, like at the speed of light, time slows down. And that was the first thing that come in. And then the second thing that come in was that when people have like a car crash or something really extreme, and I've experienced this myself, that when that extreme event's happening, it seems like they're in slow motion. And so those two thoughts compiled together in my mind and was like, what is the fastest thing that moves within us, or that we're capable of moving? And I got that that's our nervous system. Because our body, you know, we can move at a certain speed, but it's limited because it's a physical vehicle that has, you know, limitations of how fast it can move. But the nervous system itself moves extremely fast. And so it's almost like when you get really good at this, you come into a different state, and only through experience you'll experience this. So like when you start to move, your nervous system starts to move faster and faster, and as it gets more and more refined, it can move faster. So I feel like it gets to this point where it's almost moving at the speed of light. And so you have within you a force that's moving at that speed. So that is slowing down time. And so it's something you really just have to experience. It's quite amazing. And one of the benefits, I guess, that you would say from doing this is that you become much better able to handle stress. It's because your nervous system's more refined. It's receiving the information. It's able to handle it at a higher speed. So external stresses become easier to manage. And my reflexes, it was quite crazy because I went to a very advanced level with this. I'll explain that a little bit along down the track. But my reflexes were insane. Like when things happen where, you know, things fall over and you normally, oh, it's startled, oh crap, and you pick it up. None of that anymore. Like if you knock something over, you just watch it. It just falls over and you just gently just grab it, put it back. And there's no shock that happens in your system at all. It's just like, oh yeah, that just happened. Yeah, and then you realize what you just did. You're like, what? That would normally have sent me into like that scattered state where you're like trying to, you know, get it all back together. And yeah, so, but that will happen if you get to a certain level of the practice. There's a beginner level, intermediate, and an advanced. So the beginner level is when you do the 3 sequences and it takes you around 10 minutes to do. So when you get to the 10-minute mark, then you've reached the beginner level. When you get to the intermediate, that's around when it takes 20 to 30 minutes to do the sequences. It's 3 sequences. It's very moving extremely slow at that stage. You will start to notice differences in your life when you're at that stage with your nervous system. Then when you get to the advanced level, that's from 30 to 40 minutes. And I haven't really gone past that, so I don't know what's beyond. But I do know that when I got to that stage, my life and my reality started to be so different that it freaked me out and actually stopped the practice, because my life was completely transformed in the way that I was being in it. because my nervous system was so heightened. So I'm noticing that it's gotten to around the 10-minute mark, so I want to sort of wrap this up a little bit. You've heard a little bit about the slow moving meditation now. I'm going to show you the sequences, and then I'll show you just a quick, tiny little preview of the speed that you want to sort of go at if you're doing a beginner sort of stage. So let's stand back a little bit. You just firstly hold your hands like this. And it's a bit like Tai Chi, but the sequence come through because just different elements. I'm not going to go into that right now. So I'm just going to do, this is fast. This is very fast in this meditation. So you go up like this. Make sure you got a really nice posture, knees slightly bent as well. And then I can't help but get slow. And then you just go down. And this sort of, when this motion, you sort of feel like your hands are sliding down glass. You'll sort of get the feeling when you're doing it. It's like there's a friction. You've got a friction happening. It's like, why is my hands frictioning on what? You know, it might spin you out a little bit. And then so you go down, and then this is sort of really healing for the body. Your body's energy system is activated. So your hands are doing what they do best, which is heal. And so you've sort of activated your healing hands, and you sort of just swipe over all your organs like this. So this is a really healing practice in itself. And then this movement brings you into balance and groundedness. So you want to just leave your hands just apart and just feel the energy in between your hands. It's really cool to feel. I can feel it right now. It's just booming, just pumping out energy. And then you ground it. So you just push the energy down to the ground. You can even feel it going through your feet. And then what I do after that is I put my hands on my stomach, and then I just go around 12 times, trying to count, 12 times one way, then 12 times the other way. And that sort of just brings all the energy into this energy center here, and sort of stores it for you. So that's the sequence. So imagine beginner level, that's going to take you 10 minutes. So you don't want to be too focused on the time, but I'm going to ask you to set a timer, because you do want to make progressions. But what you really want to be focused on is the pulses of movement. So you're just going to like stand with a good posture, sort of gaze. You're not looking directly at your hands, but you sort of got your gaze down at them, right? And you're feeling your hands. And then you just do these pulses. And the reason why I want you to time it is because as your nervous system gets better, these pulses will go smaller and smaller and smaller, and until like you can do this thing where you shut your eyes and you just immerse in the feeling of these pulses happening, right? And when you get really advanced, you'll feel like your hands are doing this. But when you look, like if you film yourself and you look, you will look like you're a statue. You'll look like you're not moving at all. And it is the biggest spin out that you'll ever experience, because you feel these extremely micro fine movements that you're doing. And when you look, you're like, I'm not moving, but you are. You're moving, just extremely slowly, because the nervous system can detect those small gaps. And so a few other little pointers before the end of the video, I know it's going a bit long now, is you'll notice when you have something going on with your nervous system, right? There'll be some indicators. You'll be in the zone, feeling the pulses in the zone, and then all of a sudden you're up here, right? What's happened is there's something that you're not processed in your nervous system yet, and your mind taps out. So you'll start thinking about something, and it takes your attention away from what the movement you're doing, right? And then you jump, you become quicker, and you'll move fast, and then you'll realize, oh, I moved fast through this section. Take note of that, because in that part of your movement, there's disturbance in your nervous system. The other thing is you may need to breathe it out. Like you'll get activated, and you're like, oh, just breathe it out. Just let it come out. Make some noises if you need to. It's your nervous system it's been activated, and it's processing whatever's going on there. So you just breathe it out, make a bit of noises if you need to. If it gets too much, just stop, or just move past that part if you can't handle it, and just keep working on it bit by bit. So I'm just going to do the sequence again so you can see it again, and then I'll just do a slow demonstration, and then for maybe just a few seconds so you can see the speed, and then I'll end the video. So you go up, down, so hard to move this fast. And then, oh yeah, so sorry, then scan up the body. This is a healing, just having in mind that your body is, all your organs are being healed at this point through your hands. And then up, nice stretch. And then just feel the energy in between your hands, it's so good. Just feel it pumping. And then down, and then circles on the belly button to anchor it in. I then rub myself down like this. Give myself a good thorough rub. There's a lot of static energy. You just want to give it a good rub off. Just do all the way down to your feet, your face, your head. Just get all that static energy. Just rub it all off. Alright, so I'm just going to do a short version. I'm going to start from here. I literally feel like I pop into a completely different state. Let me know in the comments if you do this and you can feel that as well. It may take you a few times, but just, you'll feel it. You just like, you go pop, like, oh, I'm here. So remember, just not focusing on your hands, just gazing at them. And really just feeling the little pulses. It's really important that you feel these pulses, because that's really the governing essence of this meditation. Because if you're not feeling the pulses, you'll go into your mind and you'll start thinking. And then you'll just find that you've just done the sequence and you're like, oh, I wasn't even really there with it. The pulses of movement keep you with the movement, and it keeps you out of your mind and just here with the movement. Just little pulse by little pulse by little pulse. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you give this a try, and leave a comment below on your experience with it, and let me know if you've got the static, or if you felt anything, or if you had any releases. Let us know.